Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua was accused on so many things as far as the impeachment motion is concerned. Those things that were raised during parliament proceedings are so many, fine, but there are a few things that I picked from there that touched me. I feel like if it was really fair, all other parliamentarians, all other politicians in this country should be subject to. One of them is the issue of amassing wealth of about 1.3 billion shillings, which was an amount was illegally, which was, let me say, the wealth that was illegally acquired, according to the allegations that the MP stabled in Parliament, that is the MP who moved the motion in Parliament. So therefore, I want to look at that aspect critically. Yes, Rigathi Gachagua has been accused of corruption before. His money taken by the government, confiscated later on after he took on power, the money was reversed back to his account. It is very true. Secondly, we cannot assume that corruption is not common in all these other leaders that we have in this country. Rigathi Gachagua is not exceptional. Corruption, it could be one of the people who are agitating for, who are actually involved in various corruption cases. That one we can't rule them out because they have been in politics for long, and amassing wealth of that kind to an extent you can find a campaign of William Ruto in Mount Kenya region. It was not easy. There must be a hand of corruption. Now, therefore, I cannot say that Rigathi Gachagua is completely free out of these corruption cases. But however, I have a concern that I personally feel that the parliament buildings is not being fair. Why am I saying so? Recently, there were cases of about 6 billion oil saga. There was a case of 6 billion oil saga where oil was fake, actually, and the oil was confiscated in Mombasa somewhere, and we are told that the oil was not supplied, and a huge amount of money was squandered by some Kenyan politicians. How much was it? 6 billion shillings in 1 year. In actually less than a year, that allegation came out. So my question is this about this. Was the 6 billion useless? They could not follow up and get hold of these people who were involved in this deal that resulted to the loss of 6 billion taxpayers' money? No. The money that was, if assuming that it's true, Rigathi Gachagua acquired 5.3 billion shillings illegally, 5.3 billion shillings worth amount of wealth that Rigathi Gachagua acquired during the 2 years. If all this money was illegal, is it too important than the 6 billion shillings that we had from the oil saga? The 6 billion that was lost? If it's a truly genuine thing, we should be seen by now the people or the leaders that were involved in the importation of oil in jail, because 6 billion is clear that it was stolen. How do you import fake oil to Kenyans using their money? Which means it was an intentional, it was a deliberate action to get money from Kenyans. And those leaders are most of them in power. But then they are saying Moses Kuru was part of the deal, but we want to see it clear from the government who was involved in this kind of a saga, so that as they crucify Rigathi Gachagua, of course, which is okay if he stole the 5.3 billion shillings, they also go for the 6 billion shillings, because actually, in any case, it's even more than what Rigathi Gachagua stole for 2 years, because 6 billion in 1 year and now 5 billion in 2 years. Honestly, it's a very clear case that we need all these parties to be brought on board. It is very clear that the people who imported the oil are government officials. Why are they left? But now they are going to Rigathi Gachagua. That is a question that the members of parliament, particularly now in the Senate, because the members of National Assembly have already finished their part, the Senate now should really scrutinize this so that we can have both the 6 billion shillings returned as Rigathi Gachagua is being hunted for 5.3 billion shillings. Now, I think this kind of a thing, it's an exposure of parliament. Our parliament has been exposed badly because when you do what you call partisan scrutiny or partisan oversight of the government, that means that you failed as an integral party of this country, an integral arm of government. Because we expect that you could have gone for other leaders as well. Because I feel there are so many leaders, for instance, Kithure Kindiki, who acquired 150 million shillings within a year since becoming a cabinet secretary. What is this did he do that he gained 150 million shillings of wealth? And we all know that those wealth that they come and announce to us in parliament, all of them, most of them are fake. The real figures are behind the scenes. These people are extremely rich, and everyone knows about that. So therefore, it's very evident that we need these people to come on board and get scrutinized as well just as Rigathi Gachagua has happened. This is the first time I concur with Ole Sapit, because at least he said something making sense, that as they scrutinize, as they do public audit for all our leaders, lifestyle audit, let's have all other leaders also undergoing the same process, so that you can see how much money has been stolen from these leaders. It is a huge amount of money have been stolen, and our leaders are focusing their mind to Rigathi Gachagua alone. That is a big exposure of our parliament. Another thing that I personally feel that Rigathi Gachagua is unjustly being targeted is the issue to do allocation of money to the deputy president's office and even to his residency. Parliament allocates this money to the deputy president. When they allocate this money, they even oversee the expenditure of this money. But they now come out and say Rigathi Gachagua allocated himself these amounts of money to do some fishy deals within the deputy president's office. Now, I feel strongly that this is wrong, because being ignorant of the law. And if the lawyers of Rigathi Gachagua can argue this out well, we need these people brought on book, because it is honestly speaking, these people are the ones who allocate this money to some of these leaders, and actually including Rigathi Gachagua. They make the budget. How is it that they didn't see this amount before, but they have seen it now and they're saying it's wrong? Why did they allow the money to be misused if it was misused at the deputy president's office? This is the oversight we've been talking about, and we need all our leaders actually to be sober whenever they're making their decisions. Another thing that touched me in this kind of impeachment motion that is right now undergoing its due constitutional process in National Assembly and the Senate, it is the issue to do investigation on those properties that he is alleged to have acquired from his brother, and also illegally, maybe through the money that was lost. What do I mean by this? We want to see various agencies given the mandate to investigate and table the report in Parliament. We want to see the DCI giving their report and saying the money that Rigathi Gachagua owns, or the properties that he owns, most of this money was acquired legally, and here is the process through which this money was acquired. We didn't see that process being announced to us. Instead, we're just being given a blanket announcement that 5.3 billion was legally acquired during the 2 years Rigathi Gachagua has been in office. We need investigation on these aspects, because we need to know precisely how the money got lost, and whether it's true it got lost, or it's just trumped up charges to get Rigathi Gachagua out of government. The reason why I'm saying that, it's because I feel we need to take Rigathi Gachagua home in the best way possible in terms of the law and the constitution of Kenya. That is my video there and there. If this is the first time once again you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. My name is Abel Mokwa. See you next time for more videos.